the most significant challenge to the peace and security what not only the Kashmiri people, Kashmir region are facing, but the India and Pakistan and the South Asian region is the terrorism, jihad, transnational fundamentalism. I would say there's a perceptual gap between India and Pakistan towards the conflict, towards the dimension of the conflict issue. The Pakistan was carved out of the India, and Indian perception is that this is the breakaway, part of the Indian territory. And that's how the Pakistan views, this conflict as a Islamic, part of the two-nation theory, the Kashmir conflict.
Peace activities, publications, and human rights education should be institutionalized in all the regions of former princely state of Jammu and Kashmir. Spreading religious hatred, political philosophy, or using religion as a weapon against enemy or weapon to use their political means should be discouraged by the regional political forces, civil society activists, human rights defenders, as well as the world community, and most particularly the European Parliament and its respective institutions.
Peace and stability can only prevail when violence stops. We must emphasize that there should be trade and social interaction between all the regions and between all the ethnic groups. Majority of the people want to live in peace, and it's only a small minority which wants to disturb peace of the area. They want India and Pakistan to be in a state of war all the time. In order to justify this two-nation theory, in order to justify their existence, in order to justify the existence of a large military in Pakistan.
The fact that Pakistan and India are spending huge amounts of their budget just to keep their hostility alive creates elements in their own society who feel either dissatisfied, discriminated, or left alone. These elements are an easy prey to radicalization and fundamentalism. Use the Kashmir issue as an excuse to justify terrorism. Therefore, finding a solution to the Kashmir problem according to the wishes and aspirations of the majority of the people living in Jammu and Kashmir.
Yeah, Kashmiriyat is under threat from various pressures. There's no doubt about it. European Union should recognize Kashmiris as an ethnic group, their culture, their heritage, and their language. If Kashmiri and Kashmiriyats were recognized by European Union, we can facilitate that togetherness. We can bring people, poets and writers from both sides of Kashmir into Europe. And with the European diaspora, that's a start.
I noticed in the objectives of the European Union year of intercultural dialogue, they mentioned trying to help the young people develop an active European citizenship, which is open to the world. I think the Copenhagen criteria are also relevant in a certain sense. All of the European documents seem to have a relevance, for the situation in Kashmir. I think these bridges can be made and show how that tolerance and diversity in Kashmir is related to tolerance and diversity in Europe.
The question before us is how can the Kashmiri people's historical stance of tolerance for religious, linguistic, and cultural diversity be sustained and enhanced? I think the answer is very, very simple to me, and that is, which we have been already guided by the European Union, that is intercultural dialogue. It is a must. People of Indian administered Jammu and Kashmir are not allowed to interact with the people of Gilgit-Baltistan on this front and the people of POK, Muzaffarabad, Mirpur, and vice versa. I think the time has come when both the governments allow the people to interact with each other.
Kashmir has been historically and culturally one of the oldest regions of the Indian subcontinent. We should emphasize the interaction of cultures by promoting tolerance and solidarity. We shouldn't think ourselves that we are in little separate groups. We should think ourselves as united people of Kashmir. To do this as well, we need to really take on board that we have to offer equal opportunities to all people who live in these regions.
I want to extend my heartily condolence to the victims' family of the Mumbai carnage. This is the fact that the so-called democratic government in Pakistan is subservient of the Pakistani military and is totally unaware of its intelligence agencies' covert acts of terror, including the recent happened in Mumbai.
All Jammu Kashmir people of all regions have no fundamental rights. But the people of Gilgit-Baltistan, the worst situation in this century, they have no political rights, no judiciary, no education system. We, the people of Jammu and Kashmir, believe freedom, free, independent, secular, democratic Jammu and Kashmir is the only solution of Jammu and Kashmir.
The state of Jammu and Kashmir, which is divided into 3 parts under 2 countries' administrations, one part which is known as Azad Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan, where there is no rule of law, and even in Gilgit-Baltistan there is no superior court, there is no appellate court, until and unless the judiciary is not independent, until and unless the system of governance is not accountable or transparent, we cannot say the people have any kind of rights.
Because we got a lot of Kashmiri diaspora living in overseas, UK, everywhere. I think those people love to invest in their country, in Kashmir. If they have been given special facilities, some sort of discount, some sort of buying facilities, I'm sure they can invest a lot of money in Kashmir. To achieve peace, harmony is number 1 thing. Once you got the peace, then everybody will like to invest in that part of the world. And once they invest, it's vice versa. When people got money, when people got wealth, when we got better off, the terrorism will reduce automatically.
Our trade is depending upon the India-Pakistan relationship, and it is very unfortunate that trade across LOC has been stopped due to the incident of 26/11 Mumbai. The trade is only key thing to normalize this situation. We suggest that European Union should make a trade committee delegation to Kashmir. According to EU mandate, they emphasize on both atomic powers to start trade again.
The internet situation in Pakistani occupied Kashmir is like that. We could get internet connection. The same connection if you get in Islamabad is 1,000 rupees. If you want to get in Pakistani occupied Kashmir, it's 55,000 rupees. And it's because it's controlled by military. And internet, for me, means communication and information is power.
I think we believe a lot here in the EU that we have to create peace and stability while violence is still present. Peace means human rights as well. That's certainly a fundamental democratic principle, but there are, of course, a lot of societies where democracy is not the option or not desired even, certainly by the government. So maybe those 2 elements need to be distinguished, perhaps separately as well as together.